Hello everybody, this is Saqib Alauddin and this video is part 2 of AS level equilibria MCQs. Okay, on this question, there is an equation given which is of Haber's process. The question says that you have 1 mole of nitrogen, you have 3 moles of hydrogen and 1.9.8 mole of ammonia which were allowed to reach equilibrium. So initially, the initial amount of nitrogen is 1 mole, the initial amount of hydrogen 3 mole, and that of ammonia is 1.98. The question also says that it was found that 1.64 mole of nitrogen were present at equilibrium. So at equilibrium, you had 1.64 moles of nitrogen. Now we have to determine the expression for Kc. But in this question, you should see that initially you had 1 mole of nitrogen and at equilibrium you have 1.64 moles, which means there is an increase in the number of moles of nitrogen, which is only possible that before equilibrium the reaction was actually shifted backwards. So when the equilibrium was reached, some ammonia is broken down into more of nitrogen and hydrogen. So see guys, what can we conclude? If initially you had 1 mole of nitrogen and at equilibrium you have 0.64 moles, which means 1.64, which means 0.64 moles of nitrogen were produced in this reaction. Of course, then only you can have an increase. And since the ratio of nitrogen and hydrogen is 1:3, so you would also expect, you multiply it by 3.64, you would also expect 1.92 moles of hydrogen being produced. So in this case, the reactants are not reacting. Actually, they are being produced because the equilibrium was actually shifted backwards. So what is the amount of hydrogen at equilibrium? If initially you had 3 moles and 1.98 was produced, you add them up, they become 4.92. So you have 4.92 moles of hydrogen at equilibrium. Okay, also now remember, since we've already concluded that the reaction was shifted backwards, therefore you do not expect ammonia to be produced, you expect ammonia to react. How much? See, the ratio is 2:1. So if 0.64 moles of nitrogen are produced, double those moles of ammonia would have reacted. So you expect 1.28 moles, double of 0.64 of ammonia to react, to break down. And to obtain the equilibrium moles of ammonia, you subtract 1.28 from 1.98, you get 0.7. Okay, so these are the equilibrium amounts of hydrogen, nitrogen and ammonia. Expression of Kc, we all know Kc is concentration of products. Remember, raised to the power of the coefficients in the balance equation. In the balance equation you have 2. So twice upon concentration of the reactants. Once again, the reactants concentration has to be raised to the power of the coefficients in the equation. So 1 for nitrogen, 3 for hydrogen. So I put 1, I put 3. And now I'll substitute the values. See, at equilibrium you have 0.7. So 0.7 square upon, for nitrogen we have 1.64. For hydrogen you have 4.92. 1.64 into 4.92 cube. Your answer is A. That's the only correct option in all of them. So your answer is A. Okay, question number 12. You're given a reaction. I'll write down this reaction again. This reaction says X. 1 mole of X reacts with 1 mole of Y to form 1 mole of Z, all in gaseous state. Okay, you can see the graph. The graph actually shows the percentage yield of Z that varies with pressure and temperature. Okay, let's first deal with temperature. You see, as the temperature is decreasing, you can see here there is a decrease in temperature, but you observe the percentage yield of Z is increasing. Okay, what do we imply? This means that the equilibrium shifts forward. Because remember, only when the equilibrium will shift forward, then the percentage of Z will increase. So they say equilibrium shifts forward when you decrease the temperature. Okay, so when you decrease the temperature, equilibrium shifts forward. How do we know? Because the percentage of Z at equilibrium is increasing with the decrease in temperature. Now, from the fact we know, when you decrease the temperature, the exothermic reaction is favored. So it's simply, we should then know that the forward reaction is exothermic. Okay, now with this data, I look at all the options and I can see that option number D is correct. The reaction is exothermic in the forward direction. All other options are wrong. See, A is wrong. Decreasing the temperature decreases the value of equilibrium constant. Okay, not correct. Decreasing the temperature increases the rate of reaction. Not correct. Rather, increasing the pressure increases the value of equilibrium constant. Pressure change will not affect equilibrium constant. The correct option is option number D. Question number 13. Reaction is given. All the reactants and products are in gaseous state. The partial pressures of gases are given at equilibrium. What do we need to do? We need to find the value of Kp. Remember, Kp is partial pressure of the product. So we have partial pressure of the product, partial pressure of NO2 raised to the power of 2, raised to the power of the coefficient in the balance equation, divided by partial pressure of the reactant, again raised to the power of 2, and partial pressure of oxygen. So let's substitute all the values. What is the partial pressure of NO2 given in the question? It's 20 square divided by partial pressure of NO is 10 square multiplied by partial pressure of O2 is 30. We get the answer. The answer I get is 0.133333, which is actually correct because I can write it as 1.33 into 10 power minus 1. So my answer is option B. Okay, this is a tricky one. If you actually read the question, it says lithium reacts with nitrogen at room temperature to form solid Li3N, lithium nitride. Now, 3 vessels of equal volumes are connected by taps A and B as shown. You can see it's empty, not even air, evacuated. In the middle container, you have the reaction between nitrogen, hydrogen, and equilibrium with ammonia, and there is lithium in the third. Now, you read the question carefully. I'm directly moving on to the answer. It says, which action would allow mixture to contain most ammonia? Okay, which means any action taken which shifts the equilibrium backwards will not allow you to have most ammonia. So if anything should be done, it should shift the equilibrium forward, not backward. Okay, please understand now. If you open A, if we open A, what do you think will happen? If you open A, then the volume will increase and of course the pressure will decrease. Boyle's law, pressure is inversely proportional to volume if temperature is kept constant. Okay, so remember, if you open A, the pressure will decrease. According to Le-Chatelier's principle, when pressure decreases, it shifts towards the side with more number of moles. So remember, you have 4 moles on the reactant side and 2 moles on the product side. Remember, you have 2 moles on the product side. So what do you expect? When you decrease pressure, the reaction should shift the equilibrium backwards, and this is what we do not want, because if it shifts backward, then the yield of ammonia, the amount of ammonia will decrease. So you cannot open A, which means option B and option C goes out. Now, what will happen if you open B? See, if you open B, then lithium will react with nitrogen. So nitrogen will be lesser in the equilibrium mixture. Again, Le-Chatelier's principle, if you decrease the amount of reactant, equilibrium will shift backward. Remember, nitrogen will be removed because it reacts with lithium. So less nitrogen means equilibrium will shift backwards. Equilibrium shifting backward means ammonia will reduce. So option D can also not be correct. So the only correct option is to keep both A and B closed. Question number 11. The reaction is given. They say, which row describes the effect of changing conditions on the color of the equilibrium mixture? Okay, let's start with pressure. When you increase the pressure, I've been telling you, equilibrium will shift toward the side with less number of moles when you're dealing with gases. So there are 2 moles of NO2. There is 1 mole of N2O4. So as you increase the pressure, equilibrium will shift forward towards less number of moles. Forward shifting means brown gas will turn to colorless. So you expect the color to become lighter. So color becomes lighter. You are left with option number C and D. Okay. Once again, the forward reaction in this case is exo. Of course, which means that the backward reaction is endo. So let me just clear this out for you. So forward is exo, and the backward reaction, of course, would then be endo. Now what do you say? Increasing temperature. We should know by now that when you increase the temperature, the endothermic reaction is favored. So actually, by increasing temperature, the backward reaction should be favored. Backward reaction means colorless gas turning to brown, which means color becomes darker. The correct option is C. Question 16, a reaction is given to you. They're all 3 gases. Equation is given. They say at T1, the numerical value of Kp, the equilibrium constant is 2. So the Kp is 2 at T1. At a higher temperature, the partial pressures are given. Now they say which row is correct. The numerical value of Kp at T2. We need to find the numerical value of Kp. Okay, let's do this thing. Partial pressure of the product, partial pressure of Z square because of the coefficient 2 upon the partial pressure of the reactant, partial pressure of X power 1 because 1 in the coefficient, and partial pressure of Y power 3. Let's put the values and calculate. So the partial pressure of Z is 5 square upon 2 into the cube of 3. Let's calculate Kp. Okay, so the answer is 25 upon 54, which leaves us with option number C and option number D. Okay, also remember at T2, this is the value of Kp at T2, which is lower than the value of Kp at T1. Remember, it says the temperature T1, the value was 2, and at a higher temperature, so remember T1 and T2. So T2 is at a higher temperature, but the value of Kp at T1 is greater than the value of Kp at T2. So with this, we'll need to work out whether the reaction, the forward reaction, exo or endo. Okay, now let's look at this. See, what do we conclude? We've already concluded that T2 is a higher temperature than T1, but the value of Kp we've calculated at T2 is lesser than at T1. Now, what does this imply? This means if you increase the temperature, if temperature is increased, the Kp decreases. Now, Kp can only decrease because when the partial pressures of the reactants are more. So, in other words, it means that the equilibrium is shifted backwards. From this, we know that when you have increased the temperature, the equilibrium is shifted backwards. Again repeating because Kp has decreased. Now Kp decreasing means the partial pressure of the product is lesser and the reactant is greater, which is only possible if the equilibrium shifts backwards. Okay, so from the fact of Le Chatelier's principle, we also know that when we increase the temperature, the endothermic side is favored. So the backward side is endo, which in other words means the forward is exo, and hence we say that the forward reaction is exothermic. Option number D is the correct answer. Okay, again a reaction dealing with nitrogen and hydrogen to form ammonia. All of you should remember that this reaction, by now I think all of you should remember that this reaction is exothermic. Okay, the delta H for this reaction is negative, which means the forward reaction is exothermic, the backward is endothermic. Okay, the question says which row shows the effect of adding iron. Remember, iron is a catalyst, okay, to the mixture and increasing the temperature. Right, adding iron. Remember, a catalyst has no effect on the equilibrium yield. So this is good enough for me to select my answer. I think option number A itself, for the first statement of option number A itself is enough, but I'll still look at the effect of increasing temperature. See, when you increase the temperature, we know endothermic side is favored. In this case, the backward side is favored. When the backward side is favored, of course, the yield of ammonia will decrease. It reduces the equilibrium yield. So which means option number A is the correct option. Question number 20. Okay, this one is for the contact process. This reaction is actually the third stage of contact process. Anyways, 0.2 mole of sulfur dioxide, 0.2 mole of oxygen are placed in 1 dm cube container. The gases are allowed to reach equilibrium. I'll do the same stuff I've been doing. So by now, I think you should know that if you have to calculate Kc, what do you do? Initial amount, amount produced, amount reacted, and equilibrium amount. Now I'm more interested in equilibrium amount, so I'm quickly doing this stuff. Okay, let's see. What is the initial amount of sulfur dioxide? It's 0.2. What is the initial amount of oxygen? Again, it's 0.2. And they say that you have 0.1 moles of sulfur trioxide at equilibrium. Okay, let's hurry up and do this one. Now see, if there was nothing initially of SO3 and at equilibrium you have 0.1 moles, that means all the 0.1 mole. Okay, this one is amount, I would say this one is amount reacted, this is amount produced. AP for amount produced, AR for amount reacted, IA for initial amount, and EQ for equilibrium. Okay, remember, I repeat, if you have 0.1 moles at equilibrium, that means all 0.1 moles are produced during the reaction. Okay, I'll put a dash here because the reactants are not produced in this. Okay, so again, so 2:2 means the ratio of 1:1. So if 0.1 moles of SO3 are produced, it means 0.1 moles of SO2 are reacted. Okay, and half of them of oxygen, so that makes 0.05 moles of oxygen have reacted. How many remaining? You subtract 0.1, of course you have 0.1, and you subtract 0.05 from 0.2, So you get 0.15. So these are the equilibrium moles of all three. Now the way we used to do it, let's calculate the value of Kc. Kc is concentration of the product. So 0.1 square divided by 0.1 square of the reactants into 0.15. This cancels out. The answer is 6.67. The only correct answer amongst these four is option number D. So D is the correct answer. Okay, the last question. See, reaction is given, Kc for the reaction is given. It says in equilibrium mixture, the sulfur dioxide concentration is 0.2 and oxygen concentration is 0.1. What is sulfur trioxide's concentration? Okay, remember the expression for Kc, concentration of sulfur trioxide square concentration of SO2 square concentration of O2. I'm not writing the states here, but it's obvious all three are gases. Okay, let's do this. So value of Kc in this question is 280. I'll use X for the concentration of SO3, X square divided by, it says 0.2 mole per dm cube of SO2 and multiplied with 0.1 of oxygen. Okay, so if you actually make X your subject, so that makes it T into 0.2 square into 0.1. Remember that you calculate this, I think it's 1.12, take the root of it. I guess A will be your answer. If you take root of 1.12, option number A is your answer. Okay, so I've done these 20 MCQs to make you understand the different variety of questions that you may have to deal with AS equilibria. Thank you so much.